Joining me now is Democratic Congressman David Cicilline of Rhode Island, a Judiciary Committee member in the House side and Trump impeachment manager. And his new book, out today, is titled House on Fire, Fighting for Democracy in the Age of Political Arson. So your reaction to what Lindsey Graham first said, is that an example of political arson?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Andrea. This is a continuation of a Republican Party that is defending the former president at all costs. This is an individual who has promoted the use of violence to stay in office even after he lost the election. And this is a really perilous time for our country. It's why I wrote the book. I used my experience as a mayor of Providence, as a member of Congress, battling Trump and Trumpism for 4 years, and then serving as an impeachment manager in the second impeachment, to really sound the alarm and to use those experiences to write about as a way to really make certain people understand that this midterm election is about the preservation of our democracy. And every time we stand up to a Republican Party that is attempting to poison our politics by promoting lies, we're defending democracy. That has to become the priority in the midterms. And we have watched a Republican Party that was once a party of low taxes and smaller government to become a party of chaos and confusion and QAnon and Marjorie Taylor Greene and the big lie and promoting Trumpism at any cost, really a thirst for power above everything else. Well, I think Democrats are delivering for the American people. So, you know, I would not normally write a book, but I felt like everyone has to do everything they can to really make certain people understand the emergency we are in and the importance of standing up to defend our democracy.
Well, you mentioned QAnon because today Donald Trump was promoting for the first time, I believe, QAnon conspiracy theories, literally, on his social media platform. How worrying is that? Yeah, I mean, this is very worrying. We've seen other Republican members run for office and win based on this crazy conspiracy theory of QAnon, which is incredibly dangerous. But to have the former president of the United States invoke these conspiracy theories, this is a kind of on the checklist of fascist leaders, you know, this sort of idea of a plot or a conspiracy to use untruthful information to stoke violence to advance a political ideology or political power. This is very dangerous stuff, and I think it's really important for people to understand not only the former president needs to be held accountable for all of his misconduct, but that we are in a fight for the preservation of our democracy. I was pleased to see for the first time that's showing up in polling as a top priority. All of the challenges we face will be easier to solve so long as we live in a democracy. They'll be made much more difficult, if not impossible, if we don't. I know things are looking up a little bit for Democrats. The president's polling is up a bit post the Roe v. Wade decision. But do you think there's a real chance on holding onto the House? Absolutely. In fact, I think we're going to pick up a few seats in the House and grow our majority, because when we have the opportunity to really remind the American people of all the work we've done to help small businesses get through this pandemic, to drive down the cost of prescription drugs, to make child care less expensive, to bring some real gun reform to our communities. All the things we did and all the legislation we passed, Republicans stood in the way of every single one of those pieces of legislation. So Democrats have delivered to working families, have made life better, and that work continues. Republicans have stood in the way and in their devotion to Donald Trump and Trumpism have blocked or attempted to block all of that progress. And now they're offering a really dangerous platform that will support this kind of stoking fear, anger, and division, and the former president. And I think people, when faced with that choice, are going to pick Democrats who are delivering for them and putting people over politics, while the Republican Party is singularly focused on getting back into power at whatever cost, even if it means accepting lies and promoting violence and promoting Donald Trump. That's not good for the country. Well, that would be against all historic precedents, or most. Absolutely. But we'll see. Congressman David Cicilline, the book is House on Fire. Thank you for being with us.